Lacuna, a sci-fi noir adventure, and henceforth Lacuna for my sanity, is a stylish investigation-driven adventure game from developers Digital Interactive and publisher Assemble Entertainment. The title really says it all. It's similar in structure to many 2D pixel art point-and-click games, but it ditches quirky or illogical puzzles for systematic investigations, evidence-based deductions, and plenty of player choice under pressure. Lacuna is set in an alternate universe, where humanity is spread out from their home planet of Gaia, eventually colonizing several moons and 2 other planets in the solar system. Over time, the Drovia colony has sought greater independence, especially after the discovery of a new mineral that allows for revolutionary battery technology. An incident in one of their fledgling colonies, which the player experiences firsthand during the prologue, functions as a gameplay tutorial and doles out a bit of background lore. This incident results in a shifting power balance and escalating tensions that persist 40 years later when Lacuna kicks off in earnest. Lacuna puts you in the dark trenchcoat of Central Department of Investigation agent Neil Conrad, your stereotypically gruff detective who has let their profession consume their lives and leave behind a trail of regret. A long day spent preparing security details for a Drovian diplomat turns into an even longer night, involving assassinations, rushed investigations, potential links to ethically dubious corporates, and even Garian government officials. Of course, events escalate further and eventually become personal for Conrad. The setting and background lore is sci-fi meets noir, but the themes are easily relatable in the modern context. The struggle to maintain colonial control versus the fight for independence, plenty of corporate espionage, and the dangers a potent mix of classism, poverty, and bigotry can bring. So many mechanically similar indie games only have their setting to differentiate themselves, and in this regard, Lacuna succeeds, with a believable, atmospheric setting and an engaging story that moves at a brisk pace from scene to scene across 3 acts. Through a combination of player choice and case outcomes, the story feels both personal and replayable. There are major events across the 3 acts that play out regardless, but your personal choices and deduction skills have a major impact on future encounters, your dialogue options, and case outcomes, especially as you move into the 3rd act. There are also enough pivotal moments, which lead to one of 8 ending variations, that you don't have to roleplay the bad cop unless you're after achievements. Now sure, some choices simply add flavor text to news reports, but bad deductions can lead to evidence loss or secondary targets escaping, while a lack of evidence limits your options in later dialogue encounters or interrogations. In true noir style, doing what's best is never clear-cut, and being lawful, or even honorable, is not always rewarded. Lacuna does its best to make sure playing it straight is as difficult as possible. Events ultimately culminate in a slideshow-style ending that highlights the impact of your actions on Gaia, the solar system as a whole, Conrad's family, and a few secondary characters, though some are conspicuously absent. The gameplay, befitting Lacuna's limited 2D world and aesthetics, is relatively simple. You roam small areas, with little filler, interact with NPCs, and investigate clues. Dialogue, with a timer for added pressure, allows you to pursue different conversation topics and make important decisions, while an AR scanner can reveal hidden clues and interface with some technology. Compiling data, which ranges from simple observations to lengthy dialogue logs, is vital to completing sheets. Think multi-part, multiple-choice-based questions based around the current case. Early cases provide abundant clues within the environment, rewarding those that systematically search. However, you'll soon need to pass through dialogue logs, computer terminals, emails, and even news articles, all of which are sent to your futuristic PDA called a cell, in order to complete sheets as accurately as possible, sometimes through the process of elimination. If you've nailed it, the dialogue does a good job of spelling out Conrad's reasoning, and therefore the player's, whereas incorrect answers and guesswork are sometimes challenged and quickly revealed as incorrect, but your submission is final, and the game goes on regardless. In fact, all decisions in Lacuna are final, with a single save file and frequent autosave preventing you from save-scumming your way through dialogue choices or investigation sheets. This forces you to frequently navigate your cell interface, ponder on all the evidence at your disposal, identify potential links, question the timing and alibis, before making your final choice. It's engaging, tense, and satisfying when your deductions result in the best possible outcome. Unlike so many point-and-click style adventures, Lacuna's devs have made sure the player will never hit roadblocks that drag their progress to a halt. Each location is small, with only pertinent evidence and NPCs accessible. Conrad's frequent monologues add plenty of flavour to each scene, so you don't have to waste time with inconsequential interactions. For those not fond of pixel hunting, you can even toggle the highlight function at any time to reliably find all evidence, while the smartly laid out cell interface tracks all your required data, and even highlights some important text when you're scanning through the dialogue. Now, the game will never make any deductions for you, but these assists smooth over the process. When it comes to the presentation, yeah, Lacuna is another pixel art game, but there's a strong focus on moody lighting and environmental details, albeit without overwhelming the scene. These multi-level and multi-layered environments, coupled with background and foreground traffic, ensure each of the locations you explore feel expansive and alive. The most impressive element of the presentation, however, is the noir soundtrack that provides a mix of piano jazz melodies and electronic beats that ramp up the tension. Voice work is limited to Conrad's gruff, melancholic monologues, but they serve well to bookend important scenes and convey his deteriorating mental state. Overall, Lacuna is a brisk, compact, stylish, and smart deduction-based adventure with strong sci-fi and noir themes. The story is engaging from the get-go, and events progress so swiftly you've got no time to catch your breath or mull over any plot holes. At around 5 hours, a single playthrough feels cohesive and satisfying, but there are always new scenes and additional endings to discover if you want more. The gameplay is streamlined, but this ensures you gather the data you need quickly, and rather invest yourself in piecing through it to solve the case. Several characters felt like they deserved a mention in the ending montage, and backtracking to the train stations felt like padding at times, but you'll find Lacuna does little wrong if you're a fan of the genre.